And welcome back, everyone. I hope y'all are having a fantastic day just like I am. And we are here now at, I believe, episode number 22. And well, I have a new shader pack on that I think absolutely makes our little dungeon look lovely. Let's take a quick tour of that before we jump into what we're going to be working on today. So let's turn around and let's walk that way because these new shaders just make everything look fantastic. As you can see right here, it gives a nice warmer glow to this entrance, and you can really see the difference between the two lanterns there. One thing I want to point out real quick right now is look at this glow lichen, and it doesn't look too special at all right now. But let's head inside, and I'll show you how just magical it becomes once we're underground. And you can see that here. It kind of gets this little sparkle to it. And this shader reflects off the ground here. And I don't know. I think it just makes this little area look fantastic. But where I really think the change comes is this room here. So, you have them sparkling on the wall like we had before. But if we gaze over this edge, you can see that work I did a long time ago below the fog that I always intended to be visible, but now it is. And you got the slightly glowing little ores there. I think it really just makes a fantastic difference in this whole dungeon. Because, like, now we have sparkling up there, we have glowing down there. It makes the fog effect even better. And then just wait until we head into the main room here. As we turn the corner here, it just sparkles, it just shines. It's everything I pictured this dungeon would be. And if we take this off of our main hand, we can get the real effect that it's that darkness I was going for when I built it. Now, you can see a little torch over there already, and that's where we're going to be working this week. This week, we're doing the wings, I guess is what you could call them. Little side areas, the chambers, whatever you want to decide to call this, but it's going to be a fantastical, immersive environment. And a little spoiler, but I found some spawners that are to the sides of us, so maybe we'll try to incorporate that to where in certain spots mobs will spawn. And we can absolutely control exactly where they're going to be thanks to the lighting update. So I guess let's just head over there, dig out a bit, and I'll bring y'all back once I have a little bit done. And I hope y'all enjoy it as much as I'm going to. All right, and as promised, I'm bringing y'all back now that it is done. Let's take a quick turn around here and I'll show y'all what we've done in this area. And we've just created an ever increasingly high walkway. We added some mob heads here and there as we go, maybe a little mini block, but then we come to our first set of rooms. And this one, haven't quite done anything yet with, but I'm thinking of making this a little kitchen, an old abandoned kitchen right here. So for that, I need to go and get a whole ton of cobweb, but lucky for us, we have a place right over here that has plenty. So we'll gather those up here in a bit. But across the way, this could have maybe been the old dining room for the kitchen here. And I just think it's a great little hall. If we hit this, first of all, they even changed with shaders, so that's pretty cool. But this whole area is spawn proof. Even though these three spots are 0, we just replaced them with stairs. So nothing's going to spawn here. Except we do have one exact spot I chose to leave spawnable. That's right there. Because, well, let's hope we see it here in just a sec. But you see the little fires. That is a little spider spawner. Yep, there they are. So that's what we've done here. We'll keep digging out this way. We have an amethyst geode here that we'll have to probably tear out a little bit. But I plan on just making these different use rooms as we... Ooh, not what I wanted to do. Forgot I didn't have that in my offhand anymore. Oh, and now we got another one. But I want to just make these different use rooms and have them each do something different. Like we have our kitchen that'd be most important to be closer, but they become more and more niche as you go farther and farther down. That way, as you're traveling through here, the most popular stuff will be in the front. And I tried a new little doorway design here. I quite like it. I think it works really well. The red is kind of darkened in this environment, so it's not as bright, but there's still a brightness to it. And then using walls and half slabs, it really frames it out to where it gives us two layers we can put there and still have a plenty wide door. So I thought that was a fun little addition we did there. But I guess for now, let's just quickly dig out how far we think this will go. And I guess the best way to do that will be in a little time lapse. So let's just hit that real quick and dig out a bunch of rooms. Then we'll come back together and decorate all of them. Alright, well, as you saw just there, I finished up the whole place nice and quickly, but after I finished, I noticed one crucial error I didn't think of. Now, let's see if you can see it right here. So each one of these is 7 long, and what we've been doing is on one end of them, we've been putting a little pillar to kind of divide them up. So that means these are actually only 6 wide between these. So these doors aren't actually centered, like, at all. They're off. And I've been thinking how to fix that, or if I need to fix that. And I think I do, which is a little unfortunate because that means this whole place is going to have to scoot one over, which is a little funny because originally I did have this door one over and then it was like, wait, we're doing this whole thing kind of cocked a little bit, so we needed to move this one that way one. Well, now I need to move both of them one this direction. So just a little unfortunate here. It's going to take me a little more time to finish everything, but I'm pretty sure we can get this exactly the way it was and done real quick. I'm not too worried about, this one has to be stone brick, this one andesite, that kind of thing. All that really matters to me is the lighting situation. I want to do it the same way. I think it works really well here. So we'll just have to remember to do these just one block over this way. But let's just hop to that, get to work, and then I'll explain further down these tunnels because we're going to move each one of these one over and then one over all the way the rest of the way down. So let me get to that real quick. I'll bring y'all back in and then I'll complain to y'all about how much of a pain it was that I can't do simple math or look at things before I set them in stone. So let me get to that and I'll be back. All right, now that that's been corrected, we can see just how much I had to skew it by. These used to be perfectly in the middle of every section, and yeah, they just do not line up at all anymore. So it was a big gaffe on my part, but we got it fixed. And there's nothing to worry about now. We're just gonna go in and decorate this hall, and then we'll start doing individually what each room's gonna be and try and fill those out, just kind of get their shape in, and then hopefully we can get this all decorated and fully filled out. Maybe use some item frames to put some stuff on the ground to really make it look dilapidated. But yeah, let's just texture up this hall, get it the same pattern as this the rest of the way down, and then I'll bring y'all back in. Okay, so all the way down to the end, we have it all completed and decorated, as well as the lighting done. There's no zero spots the rest of the way. Again, throughout this whole tunnel, the only zero spot is going to be this one right here once we remove this torch. That way the spawner will consistently spawn spiders kind of just in this general area here. But I've also moved this room over now, and we're ready to start on the next ones. So the first ones here is I want to do two forges on either side, make it large and hot, as if, because these are dwarven people or underground people, and they're going to tend to be miners. So I want to put some big forges on both sides here, because that's going to be of a pretty large importance to this, well, to what was a little thriving civilization down here. And then secondly here, I want to put some storage on one side and potentially a chapel on the other. I might just go with two storages and think about that, but maybe just a storage and a chapel. We'll go like that for now. And then these last couple here, I want to make them all connected through the backgrounds, but I want to make them crypts. So wherever anyone dies in here, they end up bringing them into these last four areas here for their burial. And then finally, in this last section right here, I'm going to make it a 2x3 little door right here, but this is going to be another staircase down to the second level. Again, we are only on level 1 out of 2 here so far. So let's just start right away with our forge, and I'll bring y'all back once I have some significant progress on that. And well, as always, I hope y'all like it. So let's get right to that. All right, and what seems like an instance to you is now the next day here. As we back up closer to our shulker monster, chest monster, whatever you want to call it, we pass the door of our forge. Let's look in here real quick and see what we've done. We've kept it very simple. I see there's just one thing I forgot to do. There we go. But we've done ourselves a little bit of those invisible item frames as well as some armor stand work in here to really bring it together. So we just have what I'm imagining is a pretty simple forge. We have the apprentices all on the sides here, all on the sides here, and then the master of the forge will be up here towards the front, making the diamond tools, and where all of the raw ore is stored before it's made into the tools. So the way in my mind it's kind of here is these end sections, these two here, as well as these two here, or maybe like the grand apprentices or the more formally trained ones, or the ones in the middle are more of the raw recruits. And so they just have quick access to one of the more experienced forgers, blacksmith. One of the more experienced blacksmiths are the ones next to them so they can ask questions, get help, and then the Grandmaster just kind of runs up and down, does his own thing, has his big old anvil right here, make his own projects. And I think it worked out great. I like our lava flow all the way from one single source up there, the different sides, even though, in the overworld here, lava only smell. in the lava in the overworld here, lava only spreads 4 blocks. So we have a little extra sources in there. But once I stop being on fire, okay, now that I'm not on fire. So we just kind of added that around, and I thought maybe these little nuggets would represent just a flake or a chip off whatever they were working on, kind of scattered onto the floor here as this place was being abandoned. And we'll create the story as to how rapidly they abandon this place as we go on. But I think what I'm going to do right now is essentially just copy and paste this to the other side here, make it a almost identical replica. Just okay, mob farm in there, but just change it to where maybe they also produce some copper. Oh, that was a cool glow. Do you see that with the shader? As we get closer to the lava, that raw iron glows a bit. Okay, well, anyways, make it to where maybe this side does some more copper work so they can add that around the base or around the dungeon, even though I don't think I've actually included copper anywhere here. But that's what my plan is there, so let's just quickly hit right here, and I guess do a dwarven little jump and get it all filled out. So let's go. Okay, and so we've gotten this whole place set up and finished. Well, not finished. We still have a couple more of those little trigger commands we gotta do on it, as well as a statues book to do. And I just thought I'd give y'all a real quick example of how I do that. It is incredibly simple. The first we gotta come here, and you can check target to make sure the one you're doing is it, and I'll highlight it real quick. But I just come here and I do styles, and I first show the arms, which is what puts the arms on. And that allows me to equip them right here. So let's grab our other axe and put them here. And then we'll come back here, and all you have to do from there is all you have to do is hit auto align and then tool rack. And watch. Easy as that. Super simple. Here, do it again. Just like that. It is so easy to do, and shout out to the creators of this book on Vanilla Tweaks. They did a great job making it, and it looks really great back there. And the simplicity of it just makes decorating more fluid in Minecraft. And the one other difference you'll probably notice is if we spin around this way, you'll see these small stands, and well, simple. That's just styles, small stand. And they work the same way. These are a little trickier sometimes with pushing blocks into them, so sometimes I just put them on top and then hope that it'll pick up the tool rack here. Well, yeah. So now I'm just going to go through real quick and turn all of these into the correct positions, give them all the correct tools. I think I have all the ones I'll need here. And let's just finish this out real quick, and I'll talk to you in just a sec. And just like that, it is all completed. Now, I didn't put any copper out there because maybe they were in a just all iron shift. There were some more tools needed for the mines or something like that. But as you can see, this top guy here has finished his early, so maybe he's shifting over to copper now. Just give it a little detail and variety in our mine. But I think both places turned out fantastic. If we turn back on the shaders, we can see just the glow of this place. And to me, that's exactly what I was wanting here. I think it works out incredibly. And again, the whole place is spawn proof, even without any extra lights added, thanks to just how bright the lava, magma, whatever you want to call it is. And so now we just get to go on to our next section, which what I wanted to start off with, as what I told you, is just a storage room and a chapel, I believe is what I said. I'll have to go back and check, but I'm pretty sure it goes storage room, chapel, and then we have 4 catacombs. But I'll look again at what I said and start working on the next section, which is going to be right here. All right, well, I just finished up a stream in which we built the 2 storage rooms and then made some changes to our furnace or forge area. Now I'm going to fall off again. Let's get out of F5. Okay, so the first thing I want to show y'all is a build that I think I've forgotten to show, but it's these first 2. We've seen this room here, but I haven't shown, let's put on the shaders to get its full effect, but I haven't shown the spider webs or just the actual decorations I put in here. But this is the cafeteria, like we've talked about before. And then on this side, I'm really happy with how kind of the kitchen and the bar you come and buy the food from turned out. I think it looks fabulous. I think that one light really brings the whole room together. But also, we did some armor stand work in here to make it look like when they left this place, they were still cooking. They had just chopped up some ham from this piglin, not hoglin or piglin. And then the changes we made to the forge is we made it to where it spilled out in certain areas just from it overflowing. And then it broke through up here and melted the floor and some gold onto the floor. And then because of that lack of heat, some spiders were able to move in, so we added spider webs where there wasn't any lava. And we did the same thing on this side, just in a different pattern. Again, spiders moved in where they could, and we had a couple breakthroughs to where, you know, lava overflowed and melted through some of the stone on the ground here. And then wherever it didn't, it kind of just cooled into stone, cobblestone, a little bit of obsidian. And then finally, the new build. The first one, well, both of them are storage rooms, but this one on this side here is where they're storing some of the heavier stuff, like anvils, cauldrons, and then grindstones are up top here. But I think for a storage room, this looks really good. I wanted to keep it simple because why, even though they might be a minor architectural society, their storage rooms wouldn't have detail in it. It'd purely be for storage. And of course, naturally, with storage rooms, you have spider webs everywhere. So I included them in here. And I did kind of the same for this side, but this side is less of the heavier stuff and more of, hey, we've got some what are these? Blast furnaces, chests and stuff. And then up here, we got the smithing tables, which I figured these were lightweight ones simply because they're mostly wood. But yeah, I think overall, both of them look fantastic. And I've been debating, and I talked with my chat a little about whether I wanted to switch these to acacia so it's more barred. And maybe that would give the effect that this is a locked door. But I like how the mangrove color works in here. So that's my little choice I have to make there. But so our next project is going to be these catacombs here. All right, well, unfortunately, that is all the time we have for this week. We've done a lot of small, tedious projects in here that, frankly, have turned out absolutely gorgeous and epic. I'm glad we put the effort into doing them, and you know, I look forward to doing it again next week when we do the other side. This is just one wing. I plan on doing 2 wings, you know, like most things have. This one we'll call. Let's F3 this to see which way we're actually looking. So we're facing north. So this will be the south wing. And we'll next week do the north wing, which is right over there, completely unstarted. But again, thanks everyone for joining as I hug up against this wall. And I hope to see you all again next Saturday. So until then, have a great rest of the week. Bye, everyone.